Hi, everybody, and welcome again to yet another episode of Tai Chi For You. And I'd like to let's have an announcement. We hit 80 degrees today here. We're in New England, Boston area, and that's just for all the people that watch all over the world. And so I'd like to give a special shout out, and this is to the teachers, to the energy workers, to the life coaches, and they're in England, Spain, in the States here. We have Texas, Virginia, New Jersey, here in New England. And really, you guys, you're doing a great job. I see some of the videos and Facebook posts and things like that you guys have. And it does. It takes work, it takes dedication, but we're all, we're all doing the things that we love to do. We're helping people. So again, it's good. I'm glad you guys are out there. Keep at it, and let's see if we can't kind of change the world a little bit, make it a better place. Um, the other thing too, I just want to mention that I um, listen to the feedback that I get, and working on a couple of more guests that will be here, and we're gonna keep the topic. I know I talk a little bit about energy work and the chakras and all that. So I want to bring in someone that has some knowledge of that, and also another Tai Chi instructor. So you guys can really see it's growing. It's out there. People are interested in finding out more about other ways of healing, of staying healthy. When we talk about the immune system, that's in the news every day. And now the research is out there that shows that Tai Chi helps. Just simple, it doesn't have to be Tai Chi, just some nice breathing exercises. People can coach you on how to de stress, things like that. So there's other techniques, and that's what we want to, I guess, explore them and come to your own conclusion. Take a little bit of from everybody and come up with your own and see if that is what helps you. You have to listen to your body, just like when we do some of the moves and the exercises and the stretching and all that. If your body tells you that that's as far as you can turn, whether it's physically something going on, or there's an energetic block where there's stiffness in the joints, or the breathing isn't as deep as you'd like. There's things that's what you can work on. So we'll be working about that. But I really want to focus a little bit and talk about clarity. And with clarity, I guess confidence kind of comes along with it. So um, to get clear, there has to be some movement. And when we talk about Tai Chi, we call it a moving meditation. So if you want to think about clarity, this comes from the movement. So first of all, we'll do a little housekeeping here. I rushed out of the house today, so I didn't get a chance to get my water bottle. So I had to stop, and I'm getting some electrolytes this way. So make sure you have something to drink with you when we do our exercises. The other thing, this is just to cover a small wound that I got. There's no need for everybody to look at a Band-Aid or anything like that. So that's all this is. There's no. Oh, and I haven't had it diagnosed as arthritis, but I was saying I had issues with this pinky really locking up. Basically, anytime I would pick up something, especially like scissors or something, it would lock right up, and I'd have to push it back out. Um, been using a few things on it, some oils, some heat and ice and upping the vitamins a little bit and all that. And it seems to be working. And I tried those, the copper gloves. Again, it's being open-minded skeptic, Ron. Okay, I was. I tried them. I felt that they helped. So, yeah, so I wear those quite a bit during the day as well. All right, so let's get up and we'll do a little bit of a something different. I don't know if I might have showed this to you before, but we're going to visualize. We take one hand, and this represents the past, and this hand represents the present. And we start moving them in together. I'm sorry, the past and the future. We move them in together, and this gets you to the present. And this is where we want to go internally now, and we want to center ourselves. And centering, again, the physical body. So I'm visualizing that center line, and I'm trying to stay balanced in my feet, and I'm not too far forward or too far back on the heels. And I'm also visualizing the energetic body. Again, there's a lot of moving parts, the blood flow, the chi, the meridians and the energy flow and all that, but I'm centering that to be present. And the same thing with the mind. So we can use the breath to help us. So we just, again, slow, deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. If you can breathe in through the nose, that's optimal, I guess. And when you go out through the mouth, you can make that little bit of a noise. You want to, again, we use the different therapies, sound therapy. We could have some music playing. We could have some incense burning, or a candle, or just a nice, maybe the lilacs. You got lilacs at your house? Bring in a nice bouquet of fresh flowers, and that's something nice to meditate on. And we just center in. So just take a moment, center in like that. And again, this just trains the mind. The body's getting more oxygen this way as well. So let's come out of it with intention. Just breathe in. And relax. So when we start to do our warm-ups, let's think of ourselves as, well, one of the sayings is bamboo. But I was thinking more of a tree might help you visualize. When the wind comes, sometimes you see it's sort of that delayed reaction, like the trunk of the tree might move, and then the branches, and then the trunk will stop, and then the branches have that little whip to them, and then the tree starts to move. So let's just do that. Let's just go side to side and get the arms up a little bit. And we can breathe in. Breathe out. So this one we can do, we call it parting the waves. Is another visualization. Or the tree and the branches. And just kind of let them float out a little bit. And they turn and they float out and come back. We'll do 3, 2, 1. Good. And then we come back to center. Excellent. All right, so step back out into the horse stance. And let's just do our warm-up, the one we call ringing the temple bell. And you can see the idea behind the trunk of the tree or the trunk of the body is turning, and the arms or the branches of the tree kind of follow along and get a little whip at the end. And we don't have to go fast with this one, but we want to keep that posture. Again, we're going to be talking about just clarity and trying to just clear the mind. We have so many things we think about. Right now, we're just thinking about the breath. And we're letting the body just shift, turn. And we can start to wake up the chi a little bit more with some higher taps, some middle, right under the ribs. And just let them drop and get a little bit lower. 1, 2, 3. And then just a nice easy shake them out this time. And let's try a little bit of bouncing. So again, if you're not used to this bouncing, which, when was the last time we did that? We were kids. So we're going to start off nice and easy and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gently coming up and sort of a harder drop, but nothing too hard. And you can slow it down as well, but that's not really getting the lymphatic system. Remember, the pump for the lymphatic system is movement. So we want to pump, 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 pump. Get the lymph, get everything flowing, get some energy in the spots that are stuck. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's warm up the fingers a little bit. And we talked about this one. However you want to remember it, and it could just be just free form. You don't have to try to think about how do I do this one. But we're just circling, opening the joints and the tendons, everything in the fingers. Good. And then we want to get the wrists up and part of this. So we're just rolling. And this is one way to do it. The other way, if you wanted to try to do that, bend it back a little bit. And easy on that one. Same thing. Bend it back. And if you do it a few times, you'll notice the first one that the body sort of resists it. Because it's like, what the heck? This isn't normal. He doesn't usually do this. But it feels kind of good. And incorporate the breath. And we're keeping that nice straight posture. Yeah, make the last one count. Make the last one the best. Good. And let's get the elbows and the wrists and the fingers. Three, 2, 1. I hope you guys are all following along. If you're sitting in a chair, these can all be done in the chair. You could even do a little bouncing with your foot while you're in the chair. So, I don't know, hit me with a question. See if you can stump me that there's a move that we can't adapt to make it so you're able to do it, whatever your situation is. So, okay, and I'll be waiting for those emails. So, anyway, all right, so where were we? We did that. Let's go into the shoulders. And we're just doing those shoulder rolls. So again, we're still trying to be relaxed. We're trying to get to that nice, clear state of mind, state of body by breathing in, slow, deep, and breathing out. So it's in with the good, out with the bad. And try a reverse on this one. It's a little bit, I don't want to say odd, feels different. Maybe it doesn't for you. Or maybe you started off backwards. Bring it around, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's try the other shoulder. We'll do a little more on the shoulder. So arms are out like we're hugging the tree, but we're doing palms down. And we're just lifting up, in, and down. So I'm not reaching with the arm, I'm reaching with the shoulder. So I'm kind of closing in a little bit. So, and then rowing. And these mics are probably picking up the little crunch. And try that in the opposite direction you were doing. Good. All right, just shake that out a little bit. And let's drop into a lot of Tai Chi, we learned about Pilates, the core. And you don't have to do a ton of sit-ups, but you want to build that core. So we want to warm it up first. And the body likes to warm up in circles. So we're just circling. And again, don't overdo it with the first 1 or 2 of them. But you want to get to where you're going to the side, to the back, to the side, to the front. Nice deep breaths. And go in the opposite direction. And then just circling to the side, to the back, and back to the front. Last one. Good. All right. Now let's try dropping down to where the knees. Again, the hands are lightly on the knees. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the kneecap. And we're just going to circle. So I'm dropping down a little bit and then coming up. You don't have to, again, overdo it. But I'm still, even though I'm bent forward, I'm still elongating that spine. I'm keeping the chin a little tucked in. 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to reverse direction. So coming down and up. 3, 2, 1. Good. And the other one we can do more with the knees if you want. We could do that 3-mile point, and I'll show you on here where we have the kneecap, and then we measure down the width of 3 fingers, and there's an acupressure point right there. And we want to rub that area, just like that, and we can tap all around. And we want to even ourselves out. So I measure down the 3 fingers from the basically the top of the knee. And right there is a nice acupressure point to massage. Brings a little energy to the knees. So you can get that another 3 miles to go. All right, let's go down. Let's do the ankle roll. So if you need the assistance of a stool or a table or something you want to hold on to just for balance, and it's just lightly, it's like the training wheels. They're there if you need it, because I'm trying to keep the posture just right. And then I'm going to reverse that direction as well. Good. And we balance with the other foot. So this is the basic. We're just circling. If you wanted to take it off the ground and circle. And take it in the opposite direction as well. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right. Let's do a little bit of the loosening up the back a little bit. So what we're doing is the knees are slightly bent. The hands are on the front of the legs, the thighs. And we're just going to start to slide them down. And I'm going to bend at the knee a little bit. And then I'm going to start to drop the shoulders. Keep the head up. And then come up. And we can keep coming up if you want and do a nice stretch with the arms and the chest. So bring it back in. And again, we're not doing them fast. This is the speed you want to do it at. Slide down, slide down. And you have some options here as well. You could hang. Again, the knees are bent for this one. I'm not trying to, and you could reach side to side with this one. And just hang. And then stand up slow. If you notice, it's one sort of vertebrae at a time that's opening up. So the last one is sliding down, and then start to bend the knees, reach down, let the air out. Feel that nice stretch, and then a nice stretch. Good. All right. Let's do the 500 claps. Why not? So, again, we start on the outside of the arm, and we're just coming up, and then we go down the inside of the arm. So you can build up to harder, or you can take it the opposite direction. Because remember, it's all intention. We're moving the chi. We're getting that energy moving. Getting rid of old, stuck thoughts and bringing in fresh, new ideas. So up, around, and down the inside. So up the outside, and down the inside. And a brushing technique, if you'd like. Fine, feels really good. Okay, and let's go into the legs now. So the same idea is down the outside of the legs. And you want to try to go a little bit further. Let's see what we can do. You can bend the knees slightly. The goal, if you can, is to get down around to the ankles and then come up the inside of the leg. So again, variations to this one is one leg at a time on a tabletop. And you go down the outside, come around the ankle, and come up the inside. Or you could do the brushing technique as well on this one. And then up. Good. And let's work the back of the... Again, it's an energy belt right here, so we're waking up the chi, getting the kidneys a little bit of a massage. We're not doing it too hard, but we're massaging the back area, and then we bring it around to the front. And again, we're using that little cupping to pack the chi. It's just a nice way to make a little noise. And then we're going to come up. Remember the center, where the clavicles are. And we start to massage or tap. This is a great time to remember that breathing. Loosen up. If you guys have allergies or you were breathing all that pollen that's floating around. Good. And then start to come around the back of the neck and bring it up around the top of the head. So the back of the neck, around, and then we reach under the eyes. Again, there's sinuses right here. We're moving. We're getting that clarity now. We feel a little better after we've hit a few of these spots and got things moving. The chin. Great. Now control the arm up and just start patting down the whole side. We're working on the torso, but we want to get a whole armpit area as well. And right down the side. So if you can get up to the wrist and come right down the forearm and that whole armpit area, and then right down the side. Control that arm down. As we bring this arm up, and same idea, get the elbow, the back of the arm, the armpit area, and then right down the side. So get on the wrist, the forearm, elbow, whole armpit area, and then right down the side. You can also brush this as well. Don't forget that brushing technique for anybody that feels that it's a little bit too much for them, or they listen to their body, they know that they bruise easy. I don't want to see any bruises with anybody. So we just finished brushing like that. Now, let's do a little bit of tapping on the fingertips. Again, the blood flows everywhere. So we're moving that blood, we're moving that chi, that energy. Some nice strikes on the side, gentle, just like that. And on the palms of the wrists, right there. And just shake that out a little bit. All right, let's hydrate. Let's sit for a minute. There's something else that I wrote down. And we talk about when we say relax. And that's the key is to relax. But really, what's the definition? Well, it doesn't mean that just be all floppy, loosey-goosey relax. But you want to, it's to make the body just be as efficient as possible without the use of any muscles or muscle tension, I guess. So again, relax, but be aware, be clear, that clarity. So I'm relaxed, but I'm also using all my senses and just, having that posture, but I'm relaxed, but I'm aware of what's going on around me. I can, sense a change if, someone opened the door behind me, or just, was it that mother's intuition? They hear a baby cry. So they're relaxed, maybe not in the sense that we think about, but they're relaxed where their senses are opened and they're able to take in sounds and smells. People sometimes they say they have a keen sense of smell. Well, they're not running around like, what's that? What's that? No, they're able to just, someone just made an apple pie, probably 10 streets away, but I smelled it. So, but that's the whole idea of relax. Don't try to just flop. Relax and get into that clarity. All right. So that was my point I wanted to cover about relax. I know I've been saying it since day one, and when people, again, their keyboards or they're driving a lot or whatever, and they're tense up here, and they're like, oh, relax. So there is a physical relax, but also just relax the mind, relax that energetic body is not just the physical body, and try to just be clear, be centered more. That's the definition of relax that I wanted to talk about. So, with that in mind, let's get up and let's do that qigong, that clearing, and that'll be a nice way to center ourselves. So one hand is placed firmly on the small of the back with the palm facing outward. Look around, make sure you're not going to knock a light over. Palm is facing down. Now my knees are slightly bent, but I'm still visualizing that elongated spine, that nice posture. And I'm going to incorporate the breath. And now I'm going to visualize the hand lifting, pulling up some nice earth energy, and just coming down and wanding or scanning, however you want to think of it, but think of it as just sort of a movement exercise with the body, but we're doing an energetic scanning or clearing out to the side. So lift up, breath in, and if don't think you have to breathe out, take another breath in and out. So you don't want to hold the breath at any point. Breath in. And the third one this time is just going to drop straight down. And see if you can pick up, or your hand stops at a point. And it might mean that you need a little more energy or a little more clearing of the throat. Maybe the sinuses, the drip. Switch hands. Arm comes up. And we're just going to wand and see if you can pick up. Maybe there's some a shoulder issue, or internally some upset tummy or other organs in there, your knees, anything, and just let it go. So bring it up and just wand, just loose, relaxed. See if there's anything that you can feel, sense. Remember, we're trying to get clear so we can tap in to that universal energy, that everything is energy. And we're doing a nice clearing just like that. Good. All right, shake that out a little bit. Starting to feel something happening here. Getting a little energy going in the body. Perfect. All right, let's do our some of the Tai Chi moves that we talk about. So we start out in the mountain position. So there's some connection with the feet at the heel or straight on. Elongate the spine, nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Clear the mind. Again, this is called the Wu Ji position, or no mind, really. Just the breath. And then the instructor will say, Tai Chi begin, where we start to drop a little bit, start putting 70% of the weight onto the right foot and kind of corkscrew down in so we can lift up, and we step out and we adjust into the horse stance. And just practicing those two things. From what we've learned today, we talked about clarity. Just that, get in that mountain position and just zone out. Find that zone that you long for. People want to get away. They want to go on vacation. They need it. How about you just take a moment for yourself and try to get into that place that makes you feel good. Now let's open. The arms come up. In. And there's a couple visualizations for this one if you want to think about. Again, it's the 70-30 rule, so I'm not locking out the arms. Visualize they're placed on maybe like an inflatable airbag or something. And now the airbag starts to fill up, so the hands are rising from that bag of that energy coming up. And they stay on, and now we're starting to push the air out. It's deflating, but we still have contact with it. So it's up, elbows are slightly bent, bring it up to about the chest height, and down. So it's somewhat of a row. We come up and out, in and down. Let's do 3. And again, this is about the speed. If you can't do it all with one breath, if you have to exhale and then inhale again, then you want to try to inhale on this part and exhale coming down. So we'll do one more. So it's a breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Let's gather. And now we're going to do a hold the ball right hand high. So when we shift that weight, we're 70-30 on the right foot with the right hand high. So we're going to be able to step in. This is called the half step. And then we step the foot straight and a little out to the side, land on the heel. Shift that weight forward. Drop the arm and bring up the other one. Good. So let's break that one down a little bit. Where we hold the ball. If you want to think of it maybe as tucked in a little bit with that little bit of a twist. So I'm dropping down, I'm twisting that corkscrew feeling of grounding in. So you're nice and solid, so when it does turn into a point where it has to be 100% just to do the half step, and you control that coming out, landing on the heel. Now I'm going to start to shift that weight, slight turn the body, and come up and down. So just practice it with your feet in this position, and we're going to drop and turn the torso. And remember we thought, or one of my students came up with, throw the frisbee. And it's actually called parting the horse's mane. You hear it, you probably won't hear too many classes say, let's practice throw the frisbee. You'll be looking for a frisbee. Or you'll be looking for a horse, one or the other. But that's the move right there, where it's 70-30. We're not overextending, locking, and we're not throwing it out again too far. So last one, boom. Now we can shift that weight to the back foot, and this is where we 45 the front foot. So this is a transition move to get us to the other side. So I shift that weight, and now as I turn the body, something's got to give, so that back foot's going to come up and plant as I continue that twist. And now I'm holding the ball magically over here with the left hand high. And now I'm going to keep the weight heavy on the left foot so I can do that half step in, step out with the heel landing first. Start to shift that weight, turn the body, and throw the frisbee. Rocking back. 45. Shifting that weight. Half step. Step straight out this time. And we toss and throw the frisbee. Good. I mean, that move, once you know it, and it, or people that watch it, it looks simple, or it looks, oh, that looks really nice. They enjoy watching. So, while you're practicing, one of the best ways to learn really is to teach somebody else. And when that was taught to me, that was sort of a game changer, because I want to learn, but just by watching, or doing and following along. But once I was able to show somebody what I know, then it just opened up a new page in the book. And that's, I guess, one style of teaching. I'm just got a book about learning to teach and just the different little things about it. And a lot of it makes sense. It's things that I do, or I hope I'm doing well while I'm teaching. But that's the whole idea, that know your crowd, who you're teaching it to, and don't want to rush them through. You want them to master each one. So that goes back to that saying, the masters master the basics. And the basics are just that shifting that weight. So we can start to feel that connection. Feel the whole, it isn't just, okay, I feel it in my legs. No, I feel it in my hips. I feel it internally. That core is still engaged. And I'm starting to feel it in my shoulders as we shift that weight and turn the body. I can feel just where the elbows are in junction with the hips and the ankles and every other part of the body. Just know where everything is. Good. And the other basic is, again, that 70-30 rule, where we're just 70% on each side. And build up to that, because as we saw in that Parting the Horse's Mane, it goes from 70-30 to right up to 100% for that half step. And then the weight starts to shift, so lightly coming up, there's 50-50, and there's the weight shift. The front foot is the heavy one now. And then shift that weight to the back foot, 70%. So the front foot has options. It can 45. And again, this gets into different parts of the other movements. So again, this foot can 45. It can kick. It can step back and get out of a situation. So that's the idea of building it up and getting that 70-30 and knowing it instinctively. So you learn things slow. So if it is something that you got to drop and execute fast to get away, or a snap or whatever, just again, getting into the martial art application, that's not what we're doing. But it's good to understand that that's where it came from. And then it was kept very secretive for thousands of years over in China. But then it started to I won't get into the whole history story of it, but you can read up on that. But now it's more the fitness, and people do it for the balance and the meditation, and that's what you see all the research on. There's research out there. You can Google that one about the immune system and how the Tai Chi and the Qigong exercises bring that body-mind connection and that clearing, that centering, that confidence of being healthy. So again, we want to visualize health the whole time while we're doing our Tai Chi. Let's do another one. It's, again, a very popular move, and you guys practice this. You practice it enough, find someone and teach someone. And I'm talking about the wave hands like clouds. So we start off just warming up with the one hand on the hip, and then we do that weight shift and that turning the body, and the arm is just going to come up, relaxed, shift that weight, turn the body, and again, I'm not overextending, and it drops down. As it's dropping down, there's that weight shift, there's that body turn, there's the arm coming up, there's the weight shift, there's the turning of the core, the body, hand down. So think of it as maybe like a Swiss watch, all those parts moving. They're not like clunk, clunk, clunk. It's not the Tin Man. We're flowing. We'll bring it in, and flow just like that. Try the other side. So we bring it up, and the palm faces in. Don't get confused. Shifting, turning. So if you notice, the hand is just doing this. It's coming across, it's coming up. It's coming across because the torso, the body's moving. It's just dropping down. It's coming back over, up, and down. Float up, over, down. Last one. Oh, it's not the last one. We're going to put both hands together at the same time. So, take a little hydration. And just a nice centering, calming. So they're both coming across. One's up, one's down. And then they're going to switch and come back across this way. So, get ready to switch. So again, thinking of the watch, this noontime, I'm 50-50 with the weight. I'm up and down. And then they start to shift that weight, turn the body, and the hands start to turn. So when they get out to, you want to call this 3 o'clock, where they go hand down, hand up. So they're almost back up. I start to shift and turn. Boom, there's 12. Coming across. Get ready. I'm at the 9. So it's a nice palm to palm. Nice and easy. 3. Breath in. Breath out. And now let me just show you the feet on this one. So we're doing that half step in. It's sort of like to hold the ball. But we're going to step out and wave. And then bring the foot in. Reload. Right foot's heavy. So we can step out with the left and continue with that wave. Stepping in. Reload. Stepping out. Reload. Just like that. I can get one more. I'll still be in frame. Good. Let's go back the other direction. So I'm stepping out and waving, shifting that weight. Reload. I'll over exaggerate with the feet, see if you can pick it up. Step in. Step out. Weighted, light, heavy, whatever you want to think of it. Last one. Step out and wave. And look at, we're going to go right into the beak. Step up, step out, and there's the whip. So let's practice the whip. And you see how like each move transitions into the next move? But we break it down to learn it, and then we learn it, we're able to do it without, I guess, overthinking it or using that part of the brain. Use the subconscious. Let that take over. And just know that the conscious mind knows the weight shift. It knows to breathe. It knows this hand's up, this hand's down. Trust that feeling so you can go deeper and you get into that meditative. Remember, Tai Chi is moving meditation. You do all the moves. Aware, clear. Your surroundings, your internal, external, conscious, subconscious. So, let's do it with the beak. Remember, we make the beak, and we make it so it's a firm pinch. And the elbow's down, it's not straight out. Okay, and this, I'm saying this to remind myself or to teach you as well. So say it out loud while you're doing it, and imagine there's somebody there that you're teaching. And then once you get somebody, you could show them that this is what we're learning. And this hand goes across, sort of a protection right here. It's going to actually build up, kinetic energy. That shifting, turning, and it just fires out. But it's controlled. And that's where it stops. We don't overextend because that gets us off balance. So it's the beak, the whip, comes up and out. So it's sort of like a surprise. Like they're thinking, what's happening here? But you're aware of this, but you're aware if you have to do something with this hand as well. So try it with this hand, make this hand the beak, this hand's the whip, and we shift and turn and come out. So it's that reload, that sort of a secret, the strong pinch, the beak, and we come out. Good. What was that other move? It was a new one that I was shown, and I showed it to you a couple times. It was, what was it, the farmer digs in the garden? Was that it? We started out in that prayer, so we got into the present time. And we breathe in, we breathe out. So it's sort of like a shovel, like digging in, and then we're going to scoop up and then just show everybody. Look what we dug up. So come back to prayer form, and we turn the hands in, and we dig in, we drill down, and then we open up and we scoop up all the, whatever it is, the flowers, the vegetables, bring them up, show everybody, and come back down into prayer. So that was, again, it incorporates, I felt that in my shoulders, I felt that in the wrist and the fingers. So any move, don't think of it as it's specific to the knee or the shoulder or the elbow. It's the whole body has something to do with it, whether it's the counterweight. Just a lot of pollen in the air today. All right. Let's make an energy ball when we got time. Okay, so let's rub the hands together. Build a little heat. Good. Again, that get into present time, present situation here. And then just start to peel from the bottom. Bring them apart. And place the palms, I don't know, 5 inches apart, something like that. And just play with it. Just have fun. We're just seeing if there's anything that you sense that you might be able to feel like this. Your hands are wrapped in taffy and you're trying to get that stickiness. Or you ever play with magnets, you can kind of shear and feel that magnetic. Remember, the body is made of energy. There's things there. So, and I didn't feel this for, like I said, a year, 2 years. It was, I thought everybody else was cuckoo, but now it's, I guess I'm cuckoo. So you feel that pulse. Good. Now we're going to draw out, and it's the 2 fingers, and just try visualizing that circling around the whole hand, and then eventually having the fingers go right to the palm where that energy center is, just like that, and then pull apart. And then same thing with this hand, circle around. One hand might feel something, one hand might not. Try reverse. Reverse might build up a little bit and then go right into the center and pull apart. So now at this point, hopefully you feel something there. And that's the energy ball. So we're just playing with it right now and visualizing it. And we're going to send that energy. Have your intention. What do you want it for? Who do you want it to go to? Take a breath in and send it away. Very good. I can't wait till we start talking a little bit deeper with a guest that knows about. They can maybe explain it differently, and it will show us some of the ideas of what happens in the body. And again, there's so many topics out there, and I try to, see who I can bring in and make it so it's interesting and it has some sort of connection back to what we practice, that Tai Chi, that moving meditation, all that's been done for centuries. And again, a lot of these things, I don't know, they didn't have the internet. They watched nature, they studied nature. I'm sure there was a lot of trial and error with things too as well. One of the reasons maybe people didn't live that long back then. It's like, let's see what happens when we do. No, I don't know what they did, but anyway, so that's that. Let's wrap it up. We'll do the hug the tree. You guys been practicing that one. That's another great one to kind of center ourselves, that clarity, where we just bring the hands again like we're hugging that tree. And this is a still posture right now. So again, it's a form of meditation. And you just want to just give the mind something to do. So just tell it to remember to breathe in and breathe out. Any thoughts that come in, recognize them, allow them, but don't hang on to them. Just let it go with the breath. And see if you notice, maybe there's that moment or two that there really wasn't a thought. That is the secret sauce right there. That's what you want to expand on. And you can hold this posture for 3 minutes. I would say 3 minutes you'll get sort of what I'm talking about, where the mind does slow down. And then take a breath in. Breath out. Tiger returns to the mountain. Good. And it's been great having you guys. Look forward to next week. Until then, it's Tai Chi for you.